Ladies and fucking gentlemen, what's up?
Let's play through 632.
Some people might say that maybe God used evolution to get us here. Well, that's not the God of the Bible, because the God of the Bible says that death came by man's sin. However, evolution says man came by death. Quite opposites. There's a stark contrast between the two, and only one is right, because they are diametrically opposites. In fact, that's proof in the Bible's favor, because if you take it at face value, it is a literal opposite of evolution in every way. In fact, you could come to the theory of evolution by simply looking at what the Bible says and then flipping it on its head. Allow me to give you some examples. I gave you the example that Genesis, which is the first book in the Bible, claims that man brought death into the world by sin, that nothing died until Adam sinned. Evolution claims that death brought man into the world, that no humans existed until millions or billions of years passed and many creatures lived and died before mankind arrived. This is directly opposed to the Genesis account. Genesis also claims that man started smart, tall, and in direct contact with God. We're finding 12 to 16 to 50-foot man skeletons, bigger than any man alive today. Evolution claims that man started stupid, short, with no God involved. Genesis claims mankind has absolute standards and rules to live by. Evolution claims that we came from the animal kingdom and that we can live and act like animals. Evolution is a lie from Satan. It is a perversion of the truth twisted directly backwards, and people believe it.
I just want to say that I do not take any issue with what he just said, except for the skeletons and what he said there at the end that I answered my first part, my first rebuttal. I personally do not think any Christian can believe in evolution if he or she takes the Bible literally, especially Genesis. But if you want to think one can and can back it up, go ahead, be my guest. That's for someone else to argue. I'm here to argue evolution, not whether one can believe in evolution personally. Let's play through 7-11.
Do you guys remember the story of Noah's Ark? God flooded the world for some reason. Let's find out why. Genesis chapter 6 verse 4 says, "There were giants," the Hebrew Bible says Nephilim, "in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God, which are fallen angels, also called demons, came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown." So, the demon children were giants. So, God flooded the world to kill them. If God flooded the world, these giants should have probably fossilized, being buried under the mud. So, we should be able to find giant skeletons, shouldn't we?
I just want to point out one thing. My Bible, it's an NRSV, and my other one, the KJV. They both say Nephilim. I don't know which translation he got that said giants, but it just shows how untrustworthy these translations are. Because if you can get giants from Nephilim, what else could have been skewed through these corrupted translations? Also, I'm pretty sure he provides the wrong reason for why the flood happened. I may be wrong on that. Don't hold me to it. Okay, let's go on the arguments. First of all, this is a completely stupid argument. If the Earth is 6,000 years old and the flood was 4,400 years ago or so, as the young Earth creationists believe, there wouldn't be any fossils. It usually takes tens of thousands of years to fossilize a skeleton, and even if we found remains from that period, the likelihood of them being fossilized is very small. They would not be fossilized. They would just be bones. Let's play through 735.
And we are.
Okay, he's really gullible. Those giant skeletons that you just saw, or actually heard nothing, you can go watch the movie because I actually just now figured out that it's just a blank thing. Those skeletons that you just saw, most of them are from a Photoshop contest hosted by 1000words.com. The object of that contest was to Photoshop a mastodon excavation site. Look it up on about.com. I'll probably provide some links for you. Also, the giant mummy that he showed was just a Hollywood prop, but if it's genuine, it does not it is not proof of a giant before Noah's time. After all, it's just a stone sarcophagus and mummified, things which did not happen in that time period. And the last two pictures he shows you are just Mayans who had their heads squashed between boards for the first few years of their lives, resulting in long, thin skulls. The head with the horns on it is likely a hoax, and it is certainly not proof of giants. I was not able to find anything specifically on the web about that, but there have been thousands of hoaxes throughout history, like the mermaid. I forget what it's called now, but I'm pretty sure they had it at the dang, I just had another brain fart. That circus. Oh well, I'll try to put it up in the corner if I remember it. Or I might blur it out some time period during the movie video. Let's play through the end.
You know, I've done a lot of talking about things such as demons and Satan, and they can be pretty scary, but some people pass them off as fairy tales. Yes, I admit, modern-day media has made a mockery of such things, treating them lightly as if they're nothing more than cartoon characters.
We have,
which I believe is part of Satan's deception so that we don't take this seriously. So, allow me to show you a reason to take it seriously. I'm now going to open a program called Google Earth. Perhaps some of you have heard of it.
It's a great program.
It is a satellite scan of the entire globe, and you can pretty much pinpoint your house on this program. But I'm not going to find my house, I'm going to find the White House.
I was like to point out one thing he said wrong. It's not a satellite scan of the entire globe. It's a patchwork of different pictures taken from different years. Some of them have not been updated. For example, the Baghdad one has not been updated since before the war. I know that because I went there the other day. Just one thing I'd like to put out. Let's continue.
Hold on a second. White House. Okay, we're now going to Washington, D.C.
Okay, for the rest of the video, he just shows you the White House, and then he shows you how there's a gigantic pentagram pointing to the White House. Okay, first of all, he's a complete idiot. There's no link in the Bible between the pentagram and Satan. It's just not there. That was actually that actually came to light in the Middle Ages when the church tried to link pagans who used the pentagram. They tried to link pagans to Satanists. In fact, the word Satan means what's the word? Enemy in Latin, I believe it is. It might be a different language. I'll put it up there if that's the wrong language. But Satan means enemy in Latin, and so they tagged the pagans with the title Satanists to try to eradicate them. But also, the pentagram in the Washington, D.C. area is a result of radial designing of the city. It's simply a few streets that he chooses to highlight. The majority of the streets look nothing like the pentagram, and they just crisscross the supposed pentagram all over the place. Also, you can make almost anything a pentagram that's radial and radially liked. That wasn't really a word, but whatever. I bet I could make his face into a pentagram if I tried. I'll probably try that. But yeah. So, that's it. He's an idiot. I win. Yeah. You are the weakest link, Venom. Great job. Thanks for watching. Listening, actually.